What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make a very cheap and quick shift boot for your automatic car. This is without sewing, so we'll just show you how it's done. Let's go. So for the G35 coupe, there is a center console here for the automatic. Yes, auto tragic. One day we'll swap it to a manual though. But what you guys are going to want to do is put your key into accessory, make sure your car is parked and has the e-brake on all the way down, and then what we're going to want to do is put it in drive or neutral, and then what that'll do is give us access to picking this up. So we'll pick up the center console, this just pops off, and then you should be able to just pick this whole thing up. Before we pick it up, hold on, let me turn off the air. We're going to go ahead and take off this shift knob. This is a custom shift knob. I got it off of Amazon. There's 3 screws on it, one right here, one on the other side, and then one on the back. You're going to just loosen that up. But for the automatic and stock shift knob, there's like a little plate that you pull down, and then there's a pin you release and slide out, and then the whole shift knob should come out in like 2-3 steps right there, real quick and easy. And why I'm changing mine is just because I'm kind of tired of the Galaxy look. I want to bring it back to the nice suede that I did on the doors here, and it matches the Energy Prisma seats. I love it. But yeah, I'm just trying to refresh it, bring it back to the all black look. So yeah, well, let's get into it. Gotta love the beeping, but here we go. I'm gonna take off the shift knob for me with this nice metric Allen key set that I got. For the reason why it was a little bit trickier for me not just sliding off was because I wrapped it with some tape, and I'll show you guys that later. That helps with this process. For this shift knob, I'll leave a link in the description for this shift knob as well. Step is fairly easy, so you'll just lift up the center console piece here and then just pick this up from the sides, and this whole thing should just pop right off. And then this should just come out and slide out just like that. And you should see the underside of this. At this point, you can just put it back in park. I'm gonna take out the keys so that way you guys don't have to hear that. So here you guys can see all the excess from what I did the previous time. But right underneath this, for the G35 coupe automatic, you guys should see 3 screws right here, 1, 2, and 3. You just take those out, and this whole entire centerpiece right here should just come apart nicely. Grab my handy dandy screwdriver, and what we're gonna do is take out those 3 screws that I just showed you guys. All right, so once those 3 screws are out, those gold screws, this part should just come right off, nice and easy. Now for you guys, there might still be a little track piece here. I got rid of that because it just made some extra noise, and mine kind of looks a little bit beat up because it's gone and seen its days. So yeah, this is what mine looks like. And then if you guys flip it to the other side, you guys should be able to just pull this right up. Boom. And then here's the old one that I made. Now we're just going to leave this alone, and we're going to jump out of the car and make our custom shift boot to match the seats and the sides. Let's go. And here is why I'm telling you, you do not have to sew. I just created a nice 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot square of whatever material. You guys can go to Joann's Fabrics, wherever you guys can find fabric. So here's the suede that I've got here. I'm going to go ahead and lay this out and cut a nice 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot square again. And you guys can trim off the corners if you like, because it's just excess that'll be there underneath. But yeah, we'll throw a time lapse of me cutting this out, and yeah, we'll go back into the car after we do this. All right, so what I ended up doing was just making it 1 foot on the bottom and then 1.5 going up across. Now this is just so that way you have extra, so that way when you shift it back into park or back into drive and slap, you have enough play and movement inside the material. Then what you guys are going to want to do is just find the exact center point of the material and make a very tiny hole. That way you guys can slip it back over the shaft for the shift boot and the shift knob. Now when I mean tiny, I mean tiny. It's like the smallest hole to make right there, you guys can see. That way it just slips right back over. And then if you guys want to cut off those corners, you can. But for me, I just like to leave them just so that way if I want to play with the material and make it look a little bit more baggy, I have that room in play. But you guys can make it a circle if you want. It doesn't even matter. But I make it a rectangle or a square. It makes it easy. So this part's going to be a little bit different. You're going to take the piece that goes on top, and what you're going to want to do is take the material and cover it and put the little hole in the center. So what we'll do, find our best side here. Doesn't really matter. We'll put it right over that. Look for our hole. Make sure you guys put the lengthwise where the shifting is from park to drive, or if you're in a manual, you know, put it right in the center. And then here's the little hole. And what we're gonna do is put this piece right back over this and put the material through the bottom. All right, so once the material's pulled through like this, what you guys are gonna wanna do is take that piece that I took off earlier and put those 3 screws back on and make sure the material is going around it and it's not interfering with any of the controls here, because then otherwise you guys won't be able to shift properly or put it into drive or put it into whatever gear. And yeah, so we'll put this back in with the 3 screws with the material hanging around it, and it's almost done. And then we basically just pull this back through, put the shift knob shaft back through that little hole, and then I'll show you guys the last little step that I usually do. Shout out to this awesome hoodie from Havoc Industries, our new sponsor. Guys, go check them out. I'll put a little thing right here at the bottom of the screen. You guys already know, go check them out. Go check them out. It's my new sponsor, baby. Apologize for the lighting, it's not the best, but here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece back on here. So we'll flip this over, make sure that all of it's facing the right direction. And then what we'll do, so this is why if you guys want to cut off the corners to make it a little bit easier, you guys can. It's just because of the excess material. It's a little bit tricky to get all this back in. Now if you guys want to, you guys can leave this a little bit loose, so that way you guys can pull the material a little bit easier, but I like to make it a little bit nice and tight so that way it doesn't move around and doesn't, you know, accidentally pull out. All right, now that the screws are all back in and the material's hanging out excess, so now we can put this back into place and guide that shift knob back or shaft right through the hole that we made. All right, so now that we got it all back together, look at that. It's already looking like a shift boot. So what I like to do now is once all of this is back in place, is I like to pull it out and make it look the way I want. And then what we'll do is take some electrical tape and tape it around. This is if you have this aftermarket shift knob from Amazon. If you still have the original shift boot, you guys can put this with the piece that goes to the shift knob, the original shift knob, put it underneath this, so that way when you go and put this back up to the shift knob, it clips all together and that little hole stays in between everything. All right, there we go. She's looking like a shift boot. Nice black suede to match the seats and the sides. I'll take some electrical tape and round this around. This is also for the aftermarket shift knob, so that way the shift knob doesn't move around, because it has a tendency to twist around if you don't put any tape around this to help it stay stabilized. And yeah, so now it's just time to put the shift knob back on and we're all done. And boom, there you guys have it. There's the shift boot, all nice and tidied up. I made it look a little bit baggy, so that way it looks a little bit more flashy, I guess. But quick, simple, easy, no sewing, and it looks great. Honestly, I think it looks awesome. Also with this custom shift knob, I'll leave a link in the description for that. And then you know, you guys could surprise me with whatever material you guys do. You guys can send me a DM, some pictures, or you know, leave some comments if you guys have any questions of how to do this on your car. I can help out as much as I can. That's just about it for this video. Huge shout out to Havoc Industries, my sponsor, and Auto for always keeping the car super clean, even though it's a little bit dirty because I daily drive this thing and it's absolutely horrendous outside because it's cold and it's snowing. But I try to keep here in here as much as I can. But that's just about it. Let me know what you guys think about this, and yeah, their products. And I think I might just be doing that for the giveaway for when we reach 1,000 subscribers. I'll do a mystery box from Rev Auto and some stickers. So stay tuned, you guys. Comment, like, and share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep chasing the unchased, y'all. Much love from Lilfaf. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.